Hello everyone, welcome back to another playthrough of Gates. I'm going to kind of showcase me shuffling up the enemies and shop before setting it up first, since these games are usually shorter, so I think it won't hurt anything to show myself setting this up, despite the fact that normally I just start with everything set up already, just so when I have to edit and upload the videos later, it's not quite as long, but I think this will be okay. So shuffle up wave 1, 2, and 3 enemies, and then take out 2 enemies from each wave, making sure Zogar is on the bottom, of course. Take out 2 enemies, stack them all up. Incredible. Set these off to the side. Take all of the hero cards, shuffle them up, and then remove 2 from those as well. Shuffle them up, remove 2, set the rest there. Take all of the recruit citizens, all of our people that will be available to purchase in the shop. Give it a quick shuffle, give it a Yugi shuffle. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got the Vagabond, the Mason, the Champion, and the Commander. Ooh, those are some spicy options there. Then I'll take our 5 starting cards, shuffle them up, draw 2 at random. We will get the Monk and the Peddler, and out of these 3, I will choose the Guard as my 3rd starting card. Okay. Then we will draw the top enemy. It is the Doom Skull. When the Doom Skull is revealed, it immediately deals 1 damage to the gate. So we haven't even started. We've already taken damage. Incredible. But it should be fine. Okay. So I want the champion. In order to get the champion, I need more money. In order to get more money, I need to buy the commander, because the commander will have 2 income. So I'm going to spend 2, 3, 4, plus 1 from the farm is 5 income. I'll spend all 5 to grab the commander, who costs 5. He gives 2 income, 1 calm, 2 damage, and then the call to arms command costs 1 gold this turn instead of 2. So I will shuffle up my deck really quick, because that's all I'm doing this turn. Doomskull will deal 1 damage to the gate, putting it down to 8, and then scooch over, reveal the next enemy, which will be the Plague Rat. And also I need to reveal the next shop. It is the Martyr. Incredible. Okay. So I'll draw 3 cards. Got the Peddler, the Commander, and the Monk. This is exactly what I was hoping for. I'm going to spend 2, 4, 5, and then plus 1 from the farm again. That makes 6 income. I'm going to spend all 6 to grab the Champion, which has 1 income, 1 repair, 2 calm, and 3 damage. So I'm completely foregoing taking out these wave 1 enemies in exchange for getting some super powerful cards early on. So Doomskull is going to deal 1 more damage to my gate, dropping it down to 7. Plague Rat is going to deal 1 damage to the farm, putting it down to 4, and then increasing fear by 1. So we will go up by 1, and then we will get a random hero. Then the Doomskull is going to enter our gate, dealing another damage to it, putting it down to 6. Plague Rat will scooch over. Next wave 1 enemy is the Skelepede. Alright, the Skelepede cannot be ignored. So I will draw 1 card and then shuffle these up, and I will draw 2 more cards. So hopefully we'll get to see some of the fruits of our labor on this turn. So we've got the Guard, we've got the Peddler, and we've got the Champion. Perfect. So I will use the Champion to deal 3 damage plus 1 from the tower. to deal 4 damage. So I will deal 3 damage to the Skelipede and have 1 bleed over to the rat. That will kill the Skelipede. Interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and use my +1 income from the farm to calm, because the festival command costs 1 gold this turn while I have the peddler. So I will calm for 1. Then I will use the peddler to the peddler's 2 income to put a barricade in front of the farm, and then I will use the guard to deal 1 damage to the rat as well. Okay, Plague Rat will attempt to attack the barricade, or attack the farm. The barricade will block it, dealing 1 damage back to the rat, and then the rat will increase fear by 1, giving us another random hero added to our deck. Then the next wave 1 enemy, Lost Corpse. You may not calm your citizens while the Lost Corpse is active. Okay, I'll draw 3 cards. We have the Monk, the Commander, and the Baroness. Ooh. Okay, well, first things first, I'm going to use the Commander to deal 2 damage, buffed by 1 from the tower, to deal 3 damage. So that will deal 1 to the Plague Rat, which will kill it, and then an additional 2 will bleed over to the Lost Corpse, which will kill that as well. So now we are fully ahead. And I have 4 gold from the Baroness, plus 1 from the Monk, and then 1 from the farm. So I have 6 income that I can spend. I'm going to spend 2 of that income on the Vagabond. So you have the Warden. And then I'm going to spend... Ooh... I think I'm just going to spend 3 of that income on that Warden that just got revealed, instead of spending 4 on the Martyr. And then the next card is the Priest. Okay. Baroness will leave our deck. And then... Oops, I wasn't supposed to see that. That's okay. Next wave 2 enemy, Blood Monk. Oh, this is good. So the Blood Monk has 4 HP, deals 2 damage to our tavern, and increases fear by 1. And it removes all damage tokens when this card is revealed. But since it's the only monster that came out, there were no damage tokens for it to remove. So it basically just doesn't have an ability. It just has 4 health and does 2 damage. So that's really nice. Shuffle up my deck and then draw 3 cards. So we have the Peddler, the Vagabond, and the Monk. I'm going to use the Vagabond to discard a card from hand and draw a new one. So I'm going to discard the Monk and draw a new one. We have the Bishop. So the Bishop calms for 3. So I will use it to just calm for 1. Then I will use the... I'm going to use the Peddler. Peddler's 2 income to put a barricade in front of the tavern. Then I will use the Vagabond to deal 1 damage, buffed by 1 from the tower, dealing 2 damage to the Blood Monk. Blood Monk will then deal 2 damage to the tavern, barricade will block it, deal 1 damage back, and then they will increase fear by 1, and then I will get another hero added to my deck at random. Blood Monk will scooch over, will reveal a new enemy. It's the Dark Priest. 5 HP, deals 2 damage to the tower, increases fear by 1. Cool. So I'll draw 3 cards. We have the Commander, the Guard, and the Warden. Okay. So I will use the Warden to deal 2 damage, bumped by 1 from the tower to deal 3 damage. And I will deal 3 damage to the Dark Priest. I will use the Commander to deal 2 more damage to the Dark Priest, which will kill them. And then I will use the Guard to deal another 1 damage to the Blood Monk. Okay. So next wave 2 enemy, we have Shellspawn. 4 HP, 2 damage to the mill, increase fear by 1, and Shellspawn ignores barricades. So I will grab my card, shuffle all these up. And then I will have to draw 2 more cards. I'd really like to buy the Martyr if I can find an off turn to do so. It's just been a little challenging getting ahead fully. So we have the Champion, the Peddler, and the Monk. So I'm going to use the Champion to deal 3 damage, bumped by 1 from the tower, to deal 4 damage, which just insta-kills the Shell Spawn. Incredible. I now have 2 income from the Peddler, 1 income from the Monk, and then an additional 1 from the farm. So that's 4 income. I'm going to buy that Martyr that I said I wanted to buy. And then the Mercenary is our next card that is revealed. Okay, next wave 2 enemy. We have Vile Stalker. 5 health, deals 2 damage to the tavern, and you may not hire citizens while the Vile Stalker is active. I'll draw 3 cards. We have the Knight, okay, the Guard, and the Vagabond. Interesting. So I'm going to use the Knight to deal 4 damage, buffed by 1 from the tower to deal 5 damage, which once again just insta-kills the Vile Stalker. Incredible. I now have 1 income from the Guard and 1 income from the Vagabond, plus 1 from the farm, so 3 income. I'm going to use the Vagabond to discard the Guard and draw a new card. And we get the Warden. Unfortunate. So I'll use the Vagabond's 1 income, bumped by 1 from the farm. That's 2 income, and I will buy the Mercenary. Next card is the Assassin. It's another great card. And then the Warden. I'm going to use the Warden to, I think, repair 1 to the farm. I could use it to calm, but I can use income to calm more efficiently with the Peddler, so I think just repairing 1 to the farm will be fine. First wave 3 enemy, Blight Golem. 6 HP, 2 damage to the gate, increase fear by 2. So I'll draw 1 card from my deck and then shuffle these up, and then I will draw 2 more. So what I'm trying to do here is stack my deck with a bunch of 2 damage cards and kind of flood my deck so it's less likely that I get a hand full of just my 3 starting cards. So we have the Commander, the Vagabond, and the Monk. I'm going to use the Vagabond to discard the Monk and draw a new card. We get the Mercenary. Beautiful. So I will use the Mercenary to deal 2 damage, bumped by 1 from the tower, to deal 3 damage to the Blight Golem. Awesome. Now, I could just deal 3 more damage and kill it, but the Call to Arms command costs 1 gold this turn. I'm wondering if it's possible to be more efficient somehow. Because I have 4 income here. I can spend 1 income to deal 1 damage. I can spend 2 income on a barricade, but then unfortunately that wouldn't quite be enough to kill. So 3 damage from the Mercenary. And then, I'll just do another 3 damage and just kill it outright. Okay, next wave 3 enemy. We have Gravelord, 7 HP, 1 damage to each location, and increase fear by 1. Draw 3 cards. We got the Champion, the Guard, and the Peddler. So I will use the Champion to deal 3 damage, bumped by 1 from the tower, to deal 4 damage. So giving that Gravelord a great big smack for 4 damage. Then I have 3 income, plus 1 from the farm, so 4 income. Unfortunately, I don't have quite enough to kill the Gravelord this turn. He's only dealing 1 damage to each location, so like everything's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Guard to deal 1 damage. And then, so that's 5. I will use the Peddler I will use the additional income from the farm to pay 1 income for the festival command, because it only costs 1 gold this turn, to calm for 1. Then I will use my last 2 income from the peddler to buy a barricade, and I'll put a barricade in front of the gate. Okay, so the Grave Lord is now going to deal 1 damage to each building. So the farm will go down to 4, the mill will go down to 2, the gate will be blocked by the barricade and 1 damage will be dealt back, so now the Grave Lord has taken 6 damage. The tavern goes down to 2, and the tower goes down to 4, and then they increase fear by 1, so up 1 on the fear mid, and then we will get another hero card added to our deck. Scooches over, next wave 3 enemy, the Abomination. 6 HP, 2 damage to the farm, increase fear by 1. By the way, I have been looking into some other Mint-Tin games, like Mint Knight and Judgment of the Realm Lords. I'm not sure how I feel about Mint Knight. I've definitely been considering it, but I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. But Judgment of the Realm Lords is something that I have definitely been leaning a little more toward. Yeah, so I'll draw these 2 cards, shuffle the rest out. Because I've looked at something like Doom Machine, but Doom Machine relies a little too heavy on dice rolling for me. I know that's insane coming from someone who plays Final Girl, which is also like all dice rolling. But I don't know. Doom Machine just doesn't really click for me in the same way. Shuffle these up. Draw 1. So our 3 cards are Martyr, Warden, and the Monk. Cool. So the Martyr, I can trash this card to defeat a single enemy. So I'm going to use the Martyr to deal 1 damage to the Grave Lord, which will kill it. And then I will trash the Martyr to also go ahead and kill the Abomination outright. And so this leaves me with 1 income from the Monk, buffed by 1 from the farm, so 2 income. So I will use that 2 income to place a barricade in front of the gate. And then I'll use the Warden to calm for 1, I believe, to bring down our fear again. Okay. And so last wave 3 enemy before Zogar, we have Death Guard, 6 HP, 1 damage to the tower, increase fear by 2. Draw 3 cards. We have the Peddler, the Commander, and the Champion. Okay, so I'll use the Champion to deal 3 damage, bumped by 1 from the tower to deal 4 damage. So that is 4 damage. Then I will use the Commander to do another 2 damage, which will kill the Death Guard. Then we have the Peddler, 2 income, bumped by 1 from the farm, so 3 total income. And I will just spend 2 of that income to place down a barricade in front of the farm. Okay, and with that, we are now at Zogar. So Zogar has 8 HP, deals 2 damage to each location, and then increases fear by 2. So that is our final boss. So let's draw 3 cards. We got the Mercenary, we got the Vagabond, and we have the Traveler. Ooh, so I get to let's try that again. I get to draw 2 more cards. So I get to draw 1, which is the Guard, and then I have to shuffle these up and draw 1 more. If I drew the Champion, that would be crazy, but I don't think it super matters which one I get. So let's draw the Monk. Okay, that was easily the worst one we could have gotten. But I can use the Vagabond to discard a card and draw a new one. So I'll discard the Monk, draw a new one. There it is. So we use the Champion to deal 3 damage, bumped by 1 from the tower. So that's 4 damage. So that's half of Zogar's health immediately. And then, yeah, we got it. We can use the Mercenary's 2 damage, and then the Vagabond and the Traveler. That's another 4 damage. to deal another 4 damage to Zogar, which will kill them. And then just and then we still have a guard in hand that we could use to buy a barricade. Okay, there you have it, everyone. So that was a another Gates playthrough. Pretty quick one. I didn't have to think too hard. This was really a showcase, I think, of I don't know if I would ever since there isn't really a ton of like videos for Gates. If I were to ever make like a tips and tricks video, which I don't know if I will, but it sounds fun. If I were to make like a tips and tricks video for this game, I think one of them would definitely be to don't be afraid to let some of these weak wave 1 enemies leak and damage your gate early on if it means you can get super powerful cards added to your deck. Like the first 2 turns, I spent the first turn getting the commander for 5 income, and then immediately after on the second turn, I bought the champion for 6 income, didn't touch the enemies at all, just let the Doom Skull leak, and then I just coasted with the power of the champion and the commander for the rest of the game, and then used it to buy just more powerful cards, like the Warden, with had 2 damage, the Mercenary, which had 2 damage, the Vagabond, which lets me kind of sift through my starting cards, specifically the Monk. Just lets me get rid of those cards, get to the better cards faster. And then the Martyr as well, which just killed 2 enemies on its own. Also, fun fact about the Martyr, if you can get this thing and hang on to it until you get to Zogar, you can trash it to defeat Zogar outright if you draw it during the final phase. I didn't think I was going to get through my deck fast enough to draw this when Zogar came out, and I believe I was correct in assuming that. But also my deck just had enough damage to get through it anyway. But there you have it. If you like this video, leave a like. Leave a comment about other Minton games you guys know about that aren't just like the super popular ones, like Mint Knight, Judgment of the Realm Lords, Doom Machine. Like, if you guys know about some more niche ones, actually, I do have Home, and I do believe I was looking a little bit at Crypt Crawler as well as a Minton game that I could get. I wasn't entirely sure about it. It does seem like Tin Helm, but like with a lot more like in-depth mechanics. So that's another one that I was kind of looking into. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas for other Minton games to look at, or if you'd be interested in me doing like a tips and tricks for Gates or Tin Helm and Tin Realm, just because there aren't really any videos on that, I'd probably be willing to do that just because I really like these games. And I feel like I have enough to say about them that I could make a video talking about it. But in any case, that is a win for Gates on hardcore difficulty. If you like these Minton games and Final Girl and Spirit Island, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you get updated when the next video comes out. And with that, I will see you all in the next video.